definitely go mute and go ahead and share the space out as well too. A shout out to YouTube as well for my people that's going to be coming into YouTube, guys. Make sure you guys go ahead and click the notification bell. Click the notification bell. Make sure you guys go ahead and share out tonight's broadcast as well too. Give us a like, give us a comment. Give us a like, give us a comment. Make sure you subscribe to the Newstoter YouTube channel. We have an interesting Q&A tonight. We got Aappiah, who's a Black immigrant, and he's going to be talking about the perceived threat of Black immigrants to Black immigrants to Black Americans. We're going to definitely bring our people up here, and they're going to ask some questions as well too. But we're going to go ahead and let the brother say what he feels, his opinion, and everything else as well too. Well, we'll go ahead and we'll have other people come up here, and like I said, they'll lay questions out, and we want to have a healthy dialogue, nice conversation to flow. I know everybody's going to have different points of views. We understand that. We just want to go ahead and try to keep it as respectful and classy as possible, as adult as possible as well too. So we're going to do our best to go ahead and maintain that as well, guys. So I want to give a shout out to all my people that's already in the Twitter space, all my people that's over there in the YouTube channel. Guys, definitely share it out. We're going to go ahead and get this thing rolling in just a second here. We're letting a few more people come up in here, some of the usuals, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to get the conversation cracking. Now, Aappiah, how do I say? Am I saying it right? Is it Aappiah or Aappiah?
I think you said it right. Actually, it's Aappiah.
Aappiah. Okay, Aappiah. My bad.
But I can't fault you. It's not your native tongue, so I get it.
Now, Aappiah, just a little background check. What nation are you from? Like, what area of Africa do you come from, Aappiah?
So I'm from Ghana, which is in the West Africa.
Okay, so you're part of Ghana. You're from Ghana, yeah. And how long have you been over here in America?
23, I guess.
23 years.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've been over here. You've been over here for a good minute, and you've been over here 23 years. And if you don't mind, for the actual for the space and for the podcast on YouTube, can you kind of give us just a little background? Just give us a little bit, just about your culture, your history, maybe a little bit about your life, just so we can get a little bit of understanding. Because like I say, I know you do definitely come up in the space and you join the conversations. But if you could just give us a little bit of a little background on you, let us know exactly what you're about. And of course, you just told us where you're from, but just let us get a little bit of an understanding about you as a person.
All right, thank you, man. And once again, thanks for having me. And I'll start off by saying that I'm going to have this conversation in a more professional manner and devoid of any personal sentiments and emotions. And I'm not going to dwell on what really the Twitter street usually talk about. So I came here 2000, I think 99, 2000 thereabouts, right? And I went straight to school, and whilst I was in school, I started working because of the field that I'm in. It required more of practical. So I was like schoolwork. And later on, I had kids and, basically that, if that makes sense.
Okay. So, because here's my understanding now. Now, do most immigrants that come from Africa, are most of you guys coming from a middle class type background? Because I wouldn't assume, like, if you went to school and stuff like that, I wouldn't assume that you were poor and in poverty. So exactly what type of middle class, what type of background, I should say, that you come from?
Well, I would say that my parents were privileged, and therefore, I had opportunity to get some, opportunities to advance whatever that they wanted me to become. So they had a couple of, they have a couple of resources to make sure that folks like me, get whatever we're looking for. However, you're right. Most of us that come here are usually from the middle to the upper class, right? And you have to acknowledge that before one would be able to get to the United States, especially from that part of the world, you go through a hardcore scrutiny. You are vetted thoroughly to make sure that you're the type of person that you will not be a liability to the United States. So, for example, even before they will allow you to be here, right? There are certain general rules. They're going to ask you, have you traveled outside Ghana before, right? If you say you've traveled outside Ghana before, they want to know the places that you've been. So if you say, oh yeah, I've traveled outside Ghana before, but let's say I went to some place like Nigeria, no, it's not considered as you have not experienced, right? And for that matter, they can deny you of a visa. If they ask you to have, they want to hear you say, yes, I've been to Canada, I've been to Britain, I've been to, some of the top world first class, environment. That's the standard, right? Therefore, if it is the first step, so can you imagine how many folks would have the chance to travel to London, Canada, Switzerland, or wherever, come back to Ghana, and then apply to the United States? So it's a hurdle. On top of that, they want to know what type of work you do, whether you're a student. They want to check your bank account. They want to make sure the money is in. They check your history, whether you're working, what shows that when you travel, you will be able to take care of yourself. And they're going to ask you, how much do you intend to spend? They want to make sure you have good money before. So it is not for everybody, right? It is not for everybody. And if you're going to come through education, they got to make sure that indeed you've passed whatever exams that the United States, curriculum sets. And then you've paid your fees in full before you can even have access, for an interview, to get a visa, to even fly out here, right? And that is just one side of it. Now, when you get here, before you go through security, right, you get vetted again to make sure it's consistent with whatever that they put in there. If not, they can still return you back to wherever you're coming from. So it is not that easy as, people think that, they allow folks to know. We go through the eye of the needle, and usually it's the middle to the upper class that get a chance to be here, unless those that get lottery or, other means to be here.
Okay, pretty good. Let me ask you this quick question. I see we have a speaker up here, so I'll get to the speaker in a second. I'm going to ask you a couple quick questions. First, I know you said you have kids, right?
Sure, I do.
Do you consider your kids were born here in America?
Yes.
Do you consider your kids to be African Americans, Black Americans?
Well, they are Africans, first and foremost, and they are citizens of the United States.
Okay. So you said they're citizens of the United States. Okay. So you consider them, so, as Black Americans, those of us that are descendants of American chattel slavery, most of us say we're Black Americans. Do you feel the same about them as well, too, that they're Black Americans, or do you feel like they're, I know you said African, so you would consider them more African and Black American?
Well, if you want to go through the formal, the administrative structure, you call them Black Americans, right? But it will have a different meaning from my perspective than yours, if that makes sense. Ideally, I would say they are Ghanaian American, but the structure does not allow, those names to be used. Therefore, they are Black.
Okay.
And, they are American citizens. So I'll use the formal structure. But it will mean different to you than it will mean to me. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So if it was up to you, you would classify them as Ghanaian Americans, correct?
No, I will classify them as African American.
As African
American. I'm an Africanist. Yes, I don't claim just Ghana. Yes, I'm a Ghanaian, but I'm an African, so I go with an African mindset.
So real quick, what would you label us? What would you label us that the Black Americans that are descendants of American chattel slavery? Would you consider us African Americans, Black Americans, or what?
Well, I consider any melanated person with an African ancestry or has a root to the continent as an African. That's the first and foremost thing.
So you would consider us Black Americans as Africans, you're saying?
Anyone with ancestral roots to Africa is an African.
Okay. And let me ask you this other question. I see we got to speak up, and I'm going to get to that speaker, Africa. Give me 1 second. Let me ask you this one question. Is it true in what they say that when Black immigrants come to the country, are you guys told by the officials not to hang around and not to have any problem with or not to basically socialize with Black Americans? Is that something that, because we hear that, is that true? Is there any truth to that?
I mean, absolutely not. Absolutely not. It makes no sense.
It's other Africans telling other.
Real quick, Somali. Nobody come off because I was only going to keep one speaker up here, but I'll let you stay up here, Somali. But we're going to go by order and put your hand up, and nobody come off the actual microphone. We want to go ahead and we want to let him we want to go ahead and let him go ahead and speak. We don't want anybody to interrupt. So everybody just put your hand up. We'll get to you, but one speaker at a time. We want to have some order up in there as well, too, guys. So just one speaker at a time. We'll have and let him go ahead and say what he's got to say. But go ahead, Aappiah. Go ahead, Aappiah. I'm sorry. It should be unmuted now, Aappiah. Go ahead. Can you hear me, Aappiah? I don't know if it's a delay. Aappiah, can you hear me? You can unmute your mic now? Oh, I'm sorry. I had your mic muted. I'm sorry. My bad.
Yeah, you had it muted. No, that's palpable false. There's no such thing as, trying to tell a grown folk, who he should associate himself with or not. I mean, mind you, like I said, right, a lot of folks that come here, these are folks that they know they are left from right. Okay, somebody just want to come to school and go back home, or they want to come and do business or whatever, or they migrate here for whatever reason. You can't just tell the person who that person can associate with or not. That is, trying to infringe on the rights of somebody. So absolutely not. If there's anything like that, it would have leaked long time ago. There's nothing like that. It's just Twitter conversation. I only heard about it on Twitter, so I'll leave it here.
Okay.
That's not true.
No problem. Thank you. For all the speakers coming up here tonight, guys, for those that's going to speak, just raise your hand. We'll get to you. We'll get to you in that order of your hand is being raised as well, too. Also, we're going to have a dialogue up here tonight as well, everybody. So no personal insults, anything like that. We're trying to go ahead and have an actual conversation, a dialogue, whether you agree with what the people up here speaking, whether it's Aappiah, whether it's anybody else that comes up here and speak, let that person speak. Let's not cut people off. Let's not overtalk people. Let's not jump off of our microphones as well, too. Like I said, let's keep the personal insults and all that down. We're trying to have an actual conversation and see exactly what's what as well, too. So, Africa, you have your hands up. Go ahead and unmute your mic.
How you doing?
Hey, what's up?
Not much. I want to speak on the title of the space. Are Black immigrants a threat to Black America? Fuck, absolutely not. How so? It wasn't Black immigrants that gave Black Americans syphilis and left them untreated. It wasn't Black Americans that burnt down, Black Wall Street. I mean, immigrants. I mean, come on now. If anything, America is pro-immigration. They making immigrants police in Chicago. They're giving Ukrainian immigrants SSI checks, refugees. So I don't think that Black immigrants is the problem, especially when it's more Mexicans here than Black immigrants. That don't even make sense. Immigrant don't affect my life at all. I don't think they affect yours either. You know what I'm saying? But that's all I wanted to say.
All right. Thank you. Let me go ahead and get to the Negro, Miss Lisa. Miss Lisa, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yes. Shout out, News. How you doing? Shout out to the room.
Hey, what's up now?
I just want to make a comment. It kills me. These so-called supposed to be respectful and care about their people. Young men jump from room to room and say different things in each room. Okay? You said no direct, but the one who said something, that's the one I'm talking to. You're phony. Okay? You got people thinking that you're something that you're not. See, I can talk English too, okay? You attack people. You like to dox people. You disrespect your elders.
Who you talking about, Miss Lisa? Who you talking? Oh, who you say Aappiah?
No, yeah, you can say that about him too, because he over here seems like he's a little girl.
Okay.
In his mouth. Okay? Enough is enough for you. Okay? You're running around this app and it's wrong. And you know why I came over here? I came over here and talked to you. Because you need to take a seat back and look at what you've done in this app before you can talk about what anybody did to you. Okay? Right? See, you came after me because you thought I couldn't fight back. But you found out I fight very well. Okay? And I ain't cursing, I ain't yelling, I ain't laughing. But Aappiah, you too young for this stuff. Okay? People get hurt behind stuff like this. Is you hacking people's stuff? Because a lot of people hack it. Ever since you've been in your feelings, you and that Trinity and dude Max. Yo, people shit getting hacked. They stuff like that. You're smart. I assume that you're smart because when you talk, you sound stupid as hell.
Miss Lisa, let's try not to insult people. Go ahead.
I'm gonna leave it like that. And then Newstoter, you know I got respect for you in your room. You know I'm holding back right now.
Shout out to Miss Lisa. I love Miss Lisa.
Oh, you love Miss Lisa? All right, you need to apologize, Miss Lisa, and I'm Miss Lisa will leave you alone, and you need to hit that cash app because I'm your elder. You don't talk to nobody like that.
I'm not Aappiah.
Okay, Africa, go ahead and keep your mic muted. Go ahead, Miss Lisa. You got it, Miss Lisa. You through, Miss Lisa? Okay.
A News, I think she thought I was Aappiah. I'm just trying to let her know it's not Aappiah talk.
Okay, I'm just coming over here because the bottom line is the young boys is around here and they're running around and it's causing a lot of problems. All right? There's some straightening that needs to be done with this youth. Okay? And that's from love. There's some straightening. I need it. Because obviously, I don't know where all these weird addies and when y'all think y'all can just talk to anybody any kind of way and people going to sit back up. People's not going to take that. Then you have no right, any young men, to be disrespecting any black woman because your mama black. When you disrespect us, you disrespect your mother, your sister, your uncle. If a woman get to you like that, you don't even need to be on Twitter.
All right. No problem, Miss Lisa. Thank you. Somali, I know you were up here. Did you don't have your hand up, but did you want to say something?
Yeah, I just want to say something. So all black immigrants are threats to black Americans. Yeah.
Hey, can I get you a little bit louder, Somali? Somali, can I get you a little bit louder? I can hear you a little bit, but you're pretty low.
No, it's my phone. I'm trying, brother. It's just my phone. But I'll just have to, because I just want to say this, and then I'm just going to leave. So are black immigrants a threat to black America? 100%. We as black, and personally, I don't consider us black immigrants. We're not black. We're African, and that's what we are. So I would say, are we a threat? Yeah, absolutely. This government essentially wants us to outnumber you guys. We already see African and Caribbeans being in leadership in the CBC, in the agency, in many historic black organizations. The frats and sororities, the people in charge are African and Caribbean. Okay? So when you look at job opportunities and hiring, corporations want to hire us than hire you guys. This is just the absolute truth. And what a lot of Africans and Caribbeans do is they play games. What they're usually doing is that they just want to do the Latino California game where their numbers aren't very, very high, but once you get enough numbers, the true face comes out. And that's what a lot of African immigrants want to do. They want to really show their ass to kiss, but we just don't have the numbers just yet. By 2050, more than 10 million quote-unquote black immigrants is going to be African. And that's not even including folks that are second and third generation. So the sole purpose of our credit is to out and to become what you guys can and cannot get. So are Black immigrants a threat to Black America? Yes, we are the ultimate threat to you guys. But unfortunately for Black Americans, you guys believe in this Pan-African BS nonsense, and you don't do what you have to do, which is to vote for closed-door candidates and to put in your folks. Tribalism is already here, but Black Americans want to live in a fantasy land. Aappiah is a liar. He's a joke. We are not Black. What's so funny is that when we started coming here in the 80s in bigger numbers, we put other. But once we understood, oh, I can check Black to get a program set aside, yes. That's when we started checking Black. And you know what's so unfortunate is that when the Black Lives Matter situation happened with George Floyd, which was very, very sad, I looked up all of the programs set aside that were created in Minneapolis, and the majority of the people that got it were us Somalis, which I was so surprised by. I thought it would be Black Americans, but no, it's us as Somalis. Why are we getting these programs? And so think of the Black Americans as Shaded and Adun, which is slave Somali. And most Somalis in Minneapolis do not like Black Americans. So how are we the biggest beneficiaries of these programs post George Floyd? I don't understand this, and I don't want to disrespect for you guys, but you guys have soft hearts. Have soft hearts for immigrants. We are not your numbers. Stop it. We are here to eat, okay? And we are here to empower ourselves. Africans and Caribbeans are doing no different than what the Hispanics did in California. Wake up, Black America. Stop joking around, okay? And the Africans that are on here, you guys are so disingenuous. You should tell Black agenda is, which is to outnumber them and to take control. That's what you want to do. Be quiet. You guys are clowns. Aappiah, you're a clown.
Okay, I don't know who that was. Chairman, don't come off your microphone. If you come off your microphone, I'm gonna tell you like this right here. I'm gonna drop you, okay? So I mean, if you got a problem, just wait till it's your turn. If you come off your microphone and I have to repeatedly tell you, I'm just gonna drop people. Somali, go ahead and finish it up so we can go ahead and move, because it's kind of hard to hear you too. So but go ahead and
Okay. All I just Black Americans, you guys have to be serious. And no, we are not your numbers at all. Marry each other. You have to have more children, and you have to vote for closed borders, because Africans are political mercenaries. They want your spot. That's what it comes down to. And I'm not joking, bro. Because if you believe in this Pan-African BS, you're going to deal with the same issue that you dealt with in California. That's all I want to say. Thank you very much.
all right.
Can I respond to that real quick?
Can I
No, hold on. I'll go ahead and I'll get the order. Africa, I think you just talked, so hold on for a second. I'm going to go back to Aappiah because I want to hear what Aappiah's got to say. Now, this person is supposed to be a Somali, and what was your a fellow African, Aappiah? What was your opinion of what he just came up here and said?
Well, I sensed 6 and 7s, in his comments, i.e., a bit of confusion. My first question to you is that, sir, so before coming out here, did you know that you were coming here to be a threat to the Black American community? Did you already knew that and you chose to be here? Can you answer that?
He's not up here right now. He dropped it.
Well,
Of course he not. See?
then I would move on. If he can't answer that, there's no point.
Hey, Africa, mute your microphone. Don't come off your mic again, okay? Go ahead, Aappiah.
Yeah, like I said, I wouldn't want to stress my energy on somebody who is just mischievous and want to come and disrupt the whole process and sell an agenda. What he said is probably false and makes no sense. Absolutely no sense.
Okay.
He has to be treated with the contempt that he deserves.
Well, let me go ahead and get to another speaker. Let me get to one of the new speakers up here. I see we got I'm not sure who came first. I think it's Chairman. Chairman, then I get to you, Art. But Chairman, go ahead and unmute your mic.
I think I was before me.
Okay, well, Art, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yeah, I posted a long ass thread about immigration in the Jumbotron. Anybody that thinks it's good at immigration should reassess the Native Americans' position from the get-go, right? Like the colonists who were immigrants wasn't good for the natives, and so on, so and so on, and so it's notoriously already known that immigration has never helped any native population in any country. So much so that I feel bad when Americans go to other countries. You need to send their asses back here, right? Like, it's just not good. And the only people that say that are people who benefit from that situation. You will never hear somebody who doesn't benefit from the situation say that it's a good thing. The only people you hear to say this type of stuff are people who are benefiting from that situation. Like, if they were, like, look at South Africa, for example. You think they don't even like immigrants from their same continent? Like, they don't, because it's not good for them. So they come over here and then act like all of a sudden, oh, well, immigration's great. Says who? Based on what math? You couldn't show me the math because it's just not feasible. Like, most countries have poverty before you get started, like before any immigration. You think it's going to fix poverty by increasing immigrants? That's not how it works, because you have to pay to get people integrated into your society. If I don't speak your native language, you're going to have to get me trained some kind of way. Either that or I'm dead weight in society. So, like, this is just common sense amongst any country. This is not like no one's pointing saying, I'm not even trying to say black immigrants or black America. I'm just saying that is the flat line. Like that's the thing that is common known no matter what country we're talking about. It could be Europeans moving to other European countries. Like, it won't make a difference. It's not going to make immigration any better because you're going to still have the same problems. They might have less of a language barrier, so it's more convenient, but it still doesn't change the overall of everything. So I implore people to go through the actual thread I posted in the Jumbotron, because the numbers are there and numbers don't lie, but people do. People have agendas, people have things, and they're not really caring about the thing. And to that person's point, the Somali person, when they say, yes, that's the agenda, regardless of whether the agenda is for Africans to come over here or not, that's the agenda of the white Americans, right? Because they owe money. Some of them do, right? Like, and what better way to not pay that money and act like you're doing inclusion other than getting the immigrants over here that look similar and say, yeah, see, we're helping black people, but they don't owe those black people or those Africans the same money that they owe black Americans. It's not even close. So the trade-off is a benefit to the Europeans. If you don't see that, you're being purposely obtuse or strongly naive, because that's the only reason why they allow it. Because if they replace all black Americans, all 43 million black Americans with 40 million Africans, they don't owe the Africans money. So why wouldn't that be a benefit to them? Like, that's just common sense. And so I'll end it with this. When we tell people that race is ethnicizing us, like by more than just name alone, and they still come over and try to push this race pan agenda, despite the fact it's ethnicizing our ethnic group, that tells you their thought process already. Because there's no way that we could be able to go over there and be like Akin or Fonte or Zulu or Bantu or any of the numerous tribes they have. But they get to come over here and be us and comfortable with it. Anybody that's comfortable with that, you can tell their mentality already. And I'll land it there.
All right. Thank you. Let me go ahead and get to a Chairman. Chairman, go ahead and unmute your mic. Is Chairman still up here?
Yeah, I believe he is. I see him. I don't know.
Chairman, are you there? Are you stuck in the Matrix or something?
He might have stepped away from his phone or something.
Yeah, can I respond to Art quickly?
Go ahead. Let me real quick. Apple. Let me go ahead and get to Let me get a couple of new speakers, and then we'll come right. I'm gonna get back to you. I want to go ahead and get to some of the new speakers up here too. Let me go ahead and get to Mama Flips.
Hey, what's going going on, News Ryan?
What's
now,
up?
I have a special disdain for Aappiah. Aappiah is disgusting. He always throws insults at Black Americans. He's playing this game with you tonight, but you're not in spaces with him all the time. He constantly bombards Black American spaces with what he feels, with what his opinion is. Also, I agree with Somali. African Caribbeans, all immigrants are here to overtake Black Americans. That is what they are here for. Just like the Hispanics, if we were to listen to our brothers and sisters in Florida and in California when they had the immigration onslaught in the 1980s, we wouldn't be in this position because we would have known what immigration would have done to us once it spread across the country when it first hit our brothers and sisters massively. And those populations started showing their asses to us in the 80s, especially with the Hispanic Cubans. Yes, that's they're here to overtake us. Once Africans gets their numbers up in Caribbeans, then they're going to truly show us their ass. They already show us their asses now. I'm going to put something in the Jumbotron later. I'm from New Jersey, right? In New York, the Caribbeans out in New York in 2010, before Black Americans were on delineation, they were already trying to position the census for them to write their specific ethnicities in on the United States Census. They were already delineating from us. So it's like now that we're on this delineation kick and we're standing strong that we are Black Americans, this is our culture and this is the country that we built. This is why they have a problem with that, because they can no longer benefit from everything that we have done in this country for ourselves. Remember, most of them came after 1965. They weren't in the fight once we were getting hung in trees. They stayed in their country during that time. All immigrants, for the most part, went into the smoke clear to come over here. Nah, that's their goal. The goals overtake us. It's delineation. Let's have babies with other Black Americans. Let's keep our lineage strong. But yes, Aappiah wants to play this game with you now, but he's constantly degrading Black Americans. So he's a trade, and he's a traitor, and I call him a liar. I don't call him Aappiah, I call him a liar. That's all I have to say.
All right, thank you, Mama Flips. Let me go ahead and get to Boston. Boston, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yeah, the question is, are Black immigrants a threat to Black America? I would say no. It's a complete fallacy, because what capital does Africans have, that comes into America to, spend on land or, get, grants to get businesses and when Black folks from Africa, arrives here to America, they pretty much, depending on who you are, you could be some rich elite that has capital, that can, buy land, buy, like a bunch of fancy cars, or, just do what most African elites do when they, get to like first world countries do. But average African, when they, get here to America, they pretty much have to start from, step one. So what most Black immigrants do here in America, they work, they build up money, they send it back home, and then eventually when they, when the time is near, saying, hey, I've been here for a while, I accumulated, all this wealth, and, might as well just go back home. That's what most Africans here do. There's like literally like four, like a demographic of 4 million African folks here in America. You can look this up, but I can assure you that most Black immigrants, they're not a threat, because if you look at, other immigrants, like, Spanish folks, they come here to America, they get, free stuff from the government, they get grants to, buy land and buy, houses and make businesses, and, they're pretty much, giving stuff on a silver, platter, which I will see them, like as a threat, since, they have a bigger demographic than Black Americans. They're like over like 11 million, but
who has a bigger demographic than Black Americans? I'm sorry.
No, I said the Latino folks, they have a bigger demographic than than Black immigrants who's here. Like there's like over 11 million. So compared to Black immigrants, they're like, I think they're like 4.5 million now. Like the last time I checked the census, but Black immigrants are not a threat. It's a complete fallacy, and I'll land my point on that.
Okay, thank you. Let me go ahead and get to the Negro, Miss Lisa. Miss Lisa, go ahead and unmute your mic.
What kills me, we try to, like I said, we came over here for a reason, to give you heads up. Mama Flip, it's for a minute. A lot of people in here. This place worse than any white supremacist, white nationalist. He is prejudiced against his own skin color. Just the way he just got up here and spoke and we all tried to sit down and speak with him. Everybody ain't jumped on that boy like that. I'm trying to tell y'all, anybody in this room, y'all sit here and you give this boy any ounce of sympathy, and he's going to turn on you. And he's mean. And he likes to disrespect Black women, especially his elders, who we think can't fight back. But he don't understand he picked on the wrong set of women, because we are very strong Black women, because we are freedmen. And you just sat here and lied and said, y'all don't get no tax breaks. Whoever in this room and being racist against y'all, us, is going to help us. You got to remember, when your parents came here, it was my generation that gave them the work. Because the white people weren't giving y'all nothing. And then as soon as y'all got your degrees and y'all felt that was above, y'all got in y'all little groups, and we was Akadas, we was slaves, we sorry, whatever. When you got a hand up, you never walked with us. You never protested with us. When that Aappiah Delima, we didn't care about his name. He was a Black man that was shot 41 times. It was Black Americans. It was Black Americans who walked the streets to free apartheid in South Africa. It was Black Americans who always stood up for y'all to even come here, because y'all couldn't even get visas. That's what the Civil Rights Act was about, because they didn't let y'all in. And then y'all come in here. Okay? These new little generational small little rats don't know nothing. They don't even know their history. Why their mother and them came from where they came. And then y'all gonna get a little bit of education and think you could come here and disrespect the people who built this country? How dare you, little boy? If you're blessed that you have an education, you're blessed that your mama got an education, how dare you come over here when you had a hand up by the Black people? When y'all moved here, y'all came to the hood. Y'all ain't go over there with the white. Y'all lived in the hood. And then, just a little bit, the Akadas and everything. You come over here, you suck up everything for yourselves. You won't give Black Americans jobs, even though we gave your mama and grandfather jobs. You disrespect us, and y'all think you better than us. But nigga, let me tell you something. When it comes down to it, they probably treat you even worse because you are African. You think that's special status? No, y'all need to get your heads out your ass. Y'all niggas just like us when it comes down to them white folks. When you try that, everybody in this room, thank you. Aappiah, stop running around here and making people from room to room with your racism. Because you're a racist against black people.
All right.
Tired of you.
All right. Thank you, Miss Lisa. Let me let Aappiah go ahead. And I know there's some comments he wants to respond to. So I'm going to say this, that all of the speakers up here stay on your microphone the way he stayed on his microphone as well, too, guys. I'm going to let Aappiah go. And then I got the angry black man and anybody else that wants to speak. Go ahead and request to speak and raise your hand.
You try to tell him to be respectful or he going to set this room off.
Okay. Aappiah, go ahead and unmute your mic.
All right, thank you. First of all, I think that Miss Lisa may have misconstrued me to be somebody else, so I will leave it there. I wouldn't want to dwell much on it. I will move on to what Art said with regards to immigration. My understanding is that every country has a vision. Every country wants to be the leader in almost everything. Every country scouts for the best they can find to be able to help them be whatever that the country wants to be, right? As a result of that, you have the so-called richest man here in the United States. Apparently, he's from South Africa. You can mention folks that have helped the economy and play certain roles to put the United States where it's at, right? Where they came from all parts of the world. And I think that it is part of the vision of the United States. Where I'm from the continent, right? We usually complain of what brain drain because they are always poaching, picking the best that they can find to come help them with whatever gaps that they have that feels that it has to be filled. Okay, so you have to acknowledge that it is not a matter of saying they just want to pick somebody and dump them here just because they want to override the people that exist here. If there's anything I can say for a fact is that they don't want us here. They just don't want us here. If they had any chance where we would be of no use at all, they wouldn't let us be here. Because we are the only folks that go through strict scrutiny to inside out, like, the harshest way for us to get here. And you can't tell me that you want me to come and replace somebody and take me through all these type of, stages before I can get here. You're checking my bank account, you're checking my family, you're checking all background. Just because you want me to come and replace somebody, then why don't you bring the Europeans and then wipe the folks here? So it just don't make, logically, I can't get it. It's the vision of every country, including the United States. They've decided that they'll push the best, whatever there is. They are making money off education because guess what? The Africans that come here, right? They pay the school fees. You have to pay in full. They have something they call educational tourism, where they sell this HBCUs, whatever, for folks to also apply, pay, and they make money off it. It is not for free. So I want us to get off this thought, making it look like it's a free plane down there. They pick folks and they come and dump them here with the sole purpose of trying to, take over for other folks. If anything, I believe that when we come here, we add value to the Black American community. When I say we add value, basically what it means is that the structures that exist, i.e. the people that are here already have paid their dues already, of which it is worth building on it, not to change it, to build on it. And I think that in general, you can't say that the Africans that have been here, they've done the worst to a point where it has destroyed the image of Black Americans. I don't think that there's any statistics to prove that point. The Africans that are here largely have played a role that they deem fit, that they can play better. And that's why for some reason, they still give us a bit of window for us to be here. So instead of you looking at it from whatever perception that you have that Africans are here to replace you, if I am to let you understand what it means, for an 18 or a 19-year-old kid, all right, to leave his home, his parents, to come here for education. You step foot here, you turn around, there's no brother, there's no sister, there's no nephew, there's nothing. All you have is just the paper. And they say survive. Survive. In case you lose your money and you can't call home, that's the end of you. You think it's a joke? You think it's
No, sweetie, you gotta stay on your microphone now. You gotta stay on your microphone. Go ahead up here.
Who would want to go through this treacherous, process just to come and do what? To replace somebody? Who will leave their home purposely to come and say that, I am coming to face the harshest conditions here where, based on my color, if I falter a little bit, I will be treated in a way that I will not be treated the same at home. Just because you want to replace somebody.
Newstoter. Hold on 1 second, though. I just want to.
Real quick, y'all. And I just said that we're not coming off our microphone. We're going to stay in order. We're not interrupting anybody. You're going to raise our hands. We got Original sitting up here next, waiting to come up here and speak as well, too. So let him go ahead and say it. I don't mind anybody coming up here speaking, but we want to go ahead and keep order, and we want to be fair as well, too, because he's waited. He's listened to 3-4 people speak before him. He's speaking. Let's not interrupt somebody's train of thought while they're speaking as well, too. Aappiah, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yes, and also I want us to acknowledge this, that
Are you done?
no, it was double mute. We come here for education, right? The thing here is this. When you come to the advanced world, quote unquote, and you get your certificates and you go back home, right? Your chances of getting a better job and a better pay is always higher. So more folks would want to invest in that process just to come and get that certificate. So just they go back, they can have a higher chance of, being more marketable than those that acquired the certificate back home. Because, you have the global ratings and they always rate Africa the lowest, irrespective of how much you prove ourselves. So that is the sole purpose. Now, when we get here, right, and then for some reason, some of them excel, and corporate America comes to these schools and they say they want those that may have excelled in one way or the other, and some of them get the chance to be there, then they get picked. If not, right after, you may have to go back. Because once your visa expires and you are found, you'll be deported and you'll never get a chance to be here. So there's nothing of which that creates the room for one to suggest that we are here to replace. The thing is, come here quick, get your certificate and get out of here. That's the first point of call. That is the first point of call. And we know for a fact that these advanced countries, they are anti-black. We know it. So we come with a certain mindset that we're not going to last longer here. And I'm telling you the truth. We come with a mindset that we want to come and achieve 1, 2, 3, 4 and go back. Somebody want to be here just to get like $50,000 and go back. Right after that, he leaves. Most of our folks come here, they don't survive. They go back home. They're like, no, this is way too much. Because here, each one for himself, God for us all. So I want you to picture.
Right, fuck all that. Lord Jesus, man, you gonna lit up.
I don't know who's speaking, but like I said, everybody else is gonna get their turn to speak. I mean, go ahead and let him speak. If you don't want to wait, then you can go ahead and unmute the mic, or you can go ahead and drop down.
So in a nutshell, what I'm saying.
And Aappiah, go ahead and wrap it up too, because I do.
Yeah, I'm wrapping up. So in a nutshell, I just want you to picture, the conditions of which when Africans migrate here, they go through first, and understand it before you can even think of this replacement theory that others may have. It is absolutely false, and it holds no water.
All right.
Big Newstoter, there you go. Real quick though, man.
Nah, hold on, wait, Pat. Who's that? Pat, you gotta mute your mic, bro. You got Original up here. You got the angry black man up here. You can't jump over them. Also, let me go ahead and say this right here too as well, y'all. I'm gonna run the space, okay? I'm gonna run the space. Y'all might not like the way I'm gonna run the space, but I'm gonna run the space. I'm gonna let everybody that comes up here get a chance to speak and talk. I'm gonna let you go ahead and speak and talk without anybody interrupting you and cutting you off. So let's just get that out there right now. Original, go ahead and unmute your mic. You there, Original?
Yeah. Here I am. Peace, Black Power, and lineage-based preparation. You know, I was, as I've said before, I used to be one of the big pro-Pan-African people, but, I didn't know a lot of what was going on with a lot of the Black immigrants, and I've worked with some Black immigrants. Some of them we worked, well together. Some of them I didn't. I remember there was a guy, he was from Nigeria. He was trying to study to get a better job. He was working in maintenance. And, I made it, because I had the keys to the kingdom, I made it possible for him to hide out and get his study on and work. And so he could get a better job. Now, would I do that today? No, I don't think so. Because of what I have seen, how a number of these Black immigrants, how their attitude towards us, and that's just being real. But Aappiah, I would like for you to, when you come back on the mic, I would like for you to answer the question.
Hey, Original, can I get you a little bit louder if possible? But go ahead.
Okay, sorry about that. But I would like, but Aappiah, I would like for you to respond to what the sister Negro and the other sister said about how you speak pejoratively about Black people in these other spaces. Now, if that is true, then that is a real issue for me. That is a big issue, because I can't see myself trying to stand in solidarity with people that don't stand in solidarity with us. Because my question is, another question is, can you tell me if any head of an African state has ever spoken to the U.S. government about how Black Americans are treated in this country? Because the Black people, a lot of our high-profile people have built schools and assisted in other ways financially in different parts of Africa, but there seemed to not be a reciprocation from Africa to us, and so and that is another issue for me, because I can't see us continuing to, just like what Somali said, we keep giving, but nothing is reciprocated back to us. And, that's not something that I'm willing to continue. Now I don't want to see anyone treated badly or whatever, but I do see more often now that when a lot of these Black immigrants come here, and knowing who these white people are, I would have to say yes, they are bringing you all here to try and replace us, but we're not going to be replaced, because white people have always played that divide and conquer. As I said previously, I have a family member who was he's a retired research and development engineer, and there was some Ghanaian, Nigerians, and Kenyans, and Jamaicans. He was their supervisor, and they didn't want to follow instructions from him, and they went to the management to try to get upper management to try to get him fired. But upper management told them, they said, well, he was here long before you all ever came here, and we know his work ethic. Now, if you can't take instructions from him, then maybe you need to find you somewhere else to work. So then they tried to be his friend, but it was too late by that point, because what you're saying about these things are false about this replacement. No, that is true. That is true, because when you look at the attitudes that quite a number of you have against us, and we're just not gonna put up with it. Now, one thing that we are good at fighting for what we know is right. And right now, I can't see myself promoting any kind of Pan-Africanism right now, because that is a failed process. And I'm not going, and I don't do failure. No, I don't. That is not my style to do failure. So, but if it is true that you have attacked I need to know from you if it is true that you have attacked these black women and other black people in these spaces. You need to be man enough to admit that, because I don't think these people are lying. Because a lot of time when black immigrants come here, they segregate themselves from us. They move near white people. They don't, they don't move near us. They open up their own churches. They don't try to worship or, fellowship with us. They do their own thing, and that is real. We don't have an issue with that, but it's like when stuff happens, when the system attacks you, then you all want to come out and you want us to back you up. Well, I just say now, I'm not sorry. We are no longer good. Well, wait a minute. I'm speaking. Hang up your mic. No.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know who that was.
It's a dude, Pat. He keeps coming off the microphone, so I just dropped him. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm just saying, like he said, like Newstoter said, everybody stay on their mic until it's time for you to speak. That's why I kept talking, just so he couldn't get whoever it was couldn't get a word in. But no, what I'm saying is that we have to be willing to discuss these things openly and honestly, because if we are to really work together, you're going to have to be honest. And knowing how these white people are, I mean, I have to believe Somali what he said, because people are not lying when they say that these things are going on. They're not. And so, I mean, for you to say that, basically what you are saying is the only, right perspective that's out there, that can't be true. No one person is right about everything. And I don't think these people are lying. So I'm going to get ready to land so someone else can come up. But I just want you to be, honest about if you have attacked other black people in other spaces, you need to be honest about that. Or if you just responded to something that they said or whatever, but either way, you need to be honest, because we cannot get anywhere unless we're going to be honest with each other in our land.
All right. Thank you, Original. Real quick, guys, in the Jumbotron, we got the YouTube channel. If you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel, it's on the far right-hand side. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. For those that can support us on Cash App, $Newstoter, $Newstoter. Newstoter is the largest Black-owned, Black American news media curation platform today in America. Once again, $Newstoter, $Newstoter. For my people that's on YouTube, the Cash App is on the actual screen, and the Venmo and PayPal is up in the description. Once again, support Black media, $Newstoter, $Newstoter. We got the Angry Black Man. Hey, look, Pat, straight up, you requested to come up here, and I done told you like 3 times to stay on your mic. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to let you come up here this time here. If you go ahead and you come up off of your mic and you interrupt somebody, I'm just going to go ahead and just throw you up out the space. I'm just being real with you. I'm not going to sit up here and babysit. I've asked you repeatedly. I've said it nicely. Please stay on your microphone, raise your hand, and we'll get to you. So let me go ahead and get to
What up, Pat? Pat, relax, man. Why you over there tripping?
Let me get to the Angry Black Man. Angry Black Man, go ahead and unmute your mic.
My mic is up. You can't hear me?
Oh, my bad. Go ahead. Hey, you got earbuds on, man?
No, I'm talking straight to my phone.
Okay, because you kind of low. So, but if you can turn up a little bit louder, if that's as loud as you can get, that's cool. But go ahead and get it in.
No, I'm actually tripping on Pat ass. I don't know what he on. He tripping. Look. Why you ain't getting trolled? Like, how you got to feel trolling like this? You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to feel this motherfucker trolling you, got his title. Like, what? How did that happen?
Having a conversation, bro. Is this something you want to ask about the actual room or whatever? You can ask Aappiah a question.
No, because I'm like, that's our toy. Like, we used to, like, we had a little click over here. We like, man, because you got him in the room. And we don't really like playing with our toys. We don't like that. What's up, Aappiah? What you doing over here? Like, you better get your ass out this room, nigga.
All right. So I'm saying, is there anything you want to talk about on the topic?
not really. I'm just saying trolling, man, talking shit. Because this is a joke, nigga. I don't even know why this thing in the title and what you using it for. I don't even know what this is about.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it, bro. So thank you. I appreciate it. Go ahead. Who's next? Boston. Boston, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yeah, I just got a quick question for Original Blood. How are black immigrants a threat? You know, that is one thing I just want to know. Like, I don't understand how black, folks that come from Africa or the Caribbean are a threat to black Americans, though. Like, I completely just don't understand. But I just need some more, details and context and to that.
I tell you what, we'll come back to that, Boston. Let me go ahead and get to the speakers, and we'll let us get to some of the new speakers, and we'll get back to that. Pat, go ahead.
Hold on, one second, Newstoter. Boston, I posted in a thread up in the Jumbotron. If you want to check that out, wait.
All right, Pat, go ahead and unmute your mic. Are you there, Pat? All right, I'm going to count again. Pat, are you there? If you're not there, we're going to go past you. Pat, are you there? Do you want to speak? All righty. Let me go ahead and remove you from the speaker. All right, who's next? The Hard Black Truth. Go ahead and unmute your mic.
What's going on in Newstoter?
What's up now?
I'm going to keep it simple as I can. No, black immigrants are not a threat to black America. As a matter of fact, I'll venture to say that black America consists of a good portion of black immigrants, and it's always been that way historically and everything. Like, white supremacy had us stuck and down this whole damn Western Hemisphere, to include the United States. We ain't secluded or isolated up here. Okay, black folk been coming in on their own accord, and white folk been bringing black folk in here. Not only from the continental Africa, but from the motherfucking Caribbean where they had their original.
Hey, try not to curse, bro, but go ahead.
I apologize.
That's cool, but go ahead. You got it.
But no, to sit here and talk about black immigrants being a threat to black America, not at all. I know that there are differences. I know that there are quote-unquote enclaves and things of that nature. But ultimately, it's all towards the betterment of black people. I don't see why we're arguing with numbers being increased at all. And, yeah, things need to be getting nipped in the butt. I'm not going to sit here and go into what's what, but to sit here and say it's a threat, now we're doing too much when we say it's a threat. Many black Americans do have ancestry that goes back not only to the continental Africa, but they also know that it goes through many of the areas in the Caribbean. And that's nothing to laugh at, scoff at, or even set to the side. When people say that we're cousins, like there's some real meaning behind that. You know what I'm saying? So I know folks is really caught up in this psyop, understand, but well, look around, man. Things ain't happening by chance. All right? The last thing we need to be doing is dividing up on some nonsense. If you're going to cause division or have a division where it makes sense to have a division, and you'll find that ain't nobody really tripping, whether it be black American or black immigrant. We're not going to trip because we recognize things need to get done. But this whole thing about being a threat to one another, nah, that's psyop talk right there, and I ain't with that.
All right.
Hey, Newstoter, let me go on here. Go, man. I'm here.
I tried to get you. I was trying to let you go before. I kept calling your name.
Yes, sir, man. I had to go check my phone up, man. Hey, but look, anybody that's rocking the Terminator glasses and shit, Mary Jones from the islands, bro. I know my people, bro. I know my people, like, through and through.
Aappiah is not my people. Hard Black Truth is not my people, fool. I'm telling you, this y'all gotta understand this shit. Aappiah, definitely not my people, fool. We American through and through, bro. Like, we cut on all type of shit, man.
Hey, try not to curse, Pat. Try not to curse, but go ahead.
My apologies, man. Look, I really don't like being recorded and whatnot, but look, man, these folks sit up there and do everything, go against reparations every day, bro. This is what they do. Hard Black Truth, Aappiah on here. Man, these do this is their whole to go against Black Americans, bro. I can't get down with these people, bro. I know who my people are. These folks are mad because they're Jamaicans, they're Africans. I know who black folks is, though. The big black, the big B. I know my people. Tell you what, tell you. I'm a sub to keep talking shit. I'm gonna run these folks down every time I see these folks. I'm from the South. Yes, I'm from the South, man. I'm like real deal from the South, man. Yeah. And I'm gonna talk shit, man. Y'all can sit up there and send me goddamn.
Don't curse, cuz, but go ahead. I'm gonna unmute the mic, but don't curse. I just told the Hard Black Truth not to curse. Everybody in here, don't curse. This is being streamed on YouTube, and I'm getting knocked on there. Do not curse, but go ahead and finish your point, Pat.
Oh, okay. My fault, Newstoter. Like, bro, man, look, bro. I just free. Hey, Aappiah is a whole op. He's like, dude, something talking about like he's African. He's for the cause and all. I mean, bro, you not for our people, bro. Dude does not care about you. He don't care about you. Aappiah up there is cosplaying as being black. Everybody Negro. Everybody African. I bet. If this was y'all want to be on, like y'all understand that, man, if you been here, your folks been here, man, your folks covered all type of stuff, man. Far as Indian, white, black, all type of shit. Excuse me. I ain't mean to cuss. But I'm saying Aappiah is up there still, man, trying to bring us back to Africa. You know what I mean? Oh, my folk been here for us. Man, I'm telling you, my great-granddaddy was here, but sometimes the country was solid. My great-granddaddy, just my great-granddaddy, was here before the country was 50 states. I can't deal with y'all folks, man. Y'all not American. I know my people, bro. News told him my people. I understand. He understand. He know. Even me being mixed, mulatto, those folks know who the hell I am. You feel me? Aappiah, you are not my people, fool. You not my people, fool. Hard Black Truth, you are not my people, fool. Any one of y'all that sit there and constantly cosplay, fool, you not my people, fool. I know my folks from America, fool. I know. My grandma was born in 1909, bro. So understand, if I know my great-granddaddy, though, if I know where his paperwork come from, oh, my fault, man, you understand it's 54 more years, 80 years. We are not the same, bro. I have no lineage to Jamaica or the Caribbean. I ain't got no folks that something talking about they from Africa. Not it. Y'all folks be weird as shit, bro.
All right, bro.
My fault, Newstoter. All right, my fault, man. And please don't put this on YouTube, man.
It's streaming though, but go ahead and wrap it up, Pat, so we can get to the other speaker, Jay Winfield.
Yeah, but you really got Aappiah be up there, like, man, this man is. Hey, hold up, man, dude.
We just having a discussion, bro. That's it. So everybody, most of the people in this space are Black Americans. Y'all can come up and ask a question. So it's just a space.
Aappiah is mad. all black truth is not black American.
Yeah, I understand they're not Black American. I'm saying most of the speakers that have come up here tonight are Black Americans. You're a Black American. Original's a Black American. I'm a Black American. So I'm saying most of the people that have come up here to speak are Black Americans.
They gonna call me a mud though. I'm mixed. You know what I'm talking about? I'm gonna stand on my family though. All I know is my family though. I'm from the South. I'm from Memphis. And all I know is all my people from Tennessee and South Carolina. That's all I know. I don't know anybody from Jamaica. I don't know nobody from Africa. I'm talking about, and I keep on going. No, we ain't get there. I don't have that lineage in me. You know what I'm talking about? So, Aappiah, stop standing. Look, hey, matter of fact, let me run this shit out real quick because I have been drinking. Let me start.
Yeah, I noticed. Okay, so I'm gonna give you 30 seconds. Hold on, cuz I'm gonna give you 30 seconds to go ahead and land your plane so we can go ahead and get so we can get to another speaker, and then we're gonna, because we got other people got their hands up, they want to speak as well too, and you're gonna keep cursing as well. So let me go ahead. I'm gonna give you 30 seconds to land it, then we're gonna move on. And let me give a shout out to 400 as well, to my man 400 for his contribution on Cash App. But go ahead, Pat, you got 30 seconds and we landing this plane. I'm gonna land it for you. Go ahead. It's unmuted. Go ahead, Pat. You can talk. Can you talk?
Yes, sir. So watch this. Hey, look. My whole thing is I have no problem with Africans in the immigrant, right? Unless you speaking on black folks' business, bro. Like, if you're not from the lineage, you're not sit there and cosplay these folks, man. And this is what I stand, though. Like, I'm talking about, like, these folks, the title is, right, are they a threat? Yes. The lady, what's the secretary? You know what I mean? These folks really are cosplaying black Americans, man. Kamala Harris, hot sauce in my bag, and she's up there playing like, yeah, I went to HBCU, all this other shit. And, excuse me.
All right. Thank you, Pat. No. Thank you, bro. I'm going ahead and we're gonna go on to the next speaker. We ain't got all night, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna move to the next speaker. Jay Winfield, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Oh man, this is get about that.
Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, I'm gonna make this real quick, and just speak to the topic. Are black immigrants a threat to black America? I would say no. I think our biggest threat is black Americans, is white supremacy, first and foremost, and then this is special class, and that could be a multitude of things like the LGBT, the illegal immigrants, pretty much all that, and then the type of class. But I'll just say this: like, as a group, black immigrants, when they come over here, they're not interested in fighting to change the status quo in America. So, just like any other immigrant, they're just trying to, do what they do and try to, get their money. But, you always have, like, your outliers, like Kwame Ture, Dr. Ben, stuff like that. But, I mean, I just think, like, stuff like this online, people just arguing back and forth, with, this, that, and the third. I think it's just, petty stuff, and I think we need to get beyond it and focus on what's really the issue, which is, securing reparations, dealing with the black wealth depletion in 2050, and, just other important matters. We got, cops in Mississippi shooting, black kids and, not getting indicted and put in the jail. You got these federal credit unions denying black people loans and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Just things like that. Like, black immigrants as a group, I would say they don't have the power to, like, oppress black Americans, things of that nature. But don't get me wrong, you do have, like, detectors and stuff like that that talk down on black Americans. And there's no issue with, addressing them accordingly. But I don't think that, as a group, black immigrants are the biggest present threat facing black Americans is, systemic racism and white supremacy. So I'm just keep it at that. That's it.
All right, thank you, Jay. I appreciate that. Let me go ahead and get to
Are you part of the alphabets? Huh?
what?
Brother.
Okay. Okay, Pat, you gotta drop down, bro. You gotta drop down. Let me go ahead and get to and let me get to a new speaker. Let me get to my sister Trouble up here. But listen, y'all, if you've been drinking and you're not gonna stay on your mic or whatever, don't come up here to speak. I mean, been warned I don't know how many times or whatever. So please, this ain't we not babysitting here. Trouble, go ahead and unmute your mic. How you doing tonight?
That dude talking from a telephone call.
Hey, Newstoter. Hope you're doing well, brother. Shout out to the group, family up in the cut. The title is Black Immigrants' Threat to America. I don't remember reading a title that says, are they the biggest threat? Because there can be more than one threat. And so we know that white supremacy will always be the biggest threats, but there are other threats that can be included as well. So what I would say is that I think as immigrants as a whole, and it's been said, I've said it before, and I know other people have said it as well.
I'm a part of the alphabet, nigga.
Is my mic not on?
Well, who's
My
just
bad.
All right, go ahead, Trouble.
Okay. So to me, immigration, and I think the majority of us already know this, is that when you come to America, there's a system of assimilation when it comes to the immigrants. And so in order to finally prove that you have assimilated into American culture, there is one final test, and that test is always your hatred for the native Black American population that are already here. Once you prove your hatred for us, that you're willing to, put your foot on our necks, hold your nuts on the necks or whatever, that means that you're finally fully assimilated once you pass off the other tests. So as immigration as a whole, and that includes everybody, that's part of what's a threat. That's threatening. Black immigrants are to a degree a threat as well because we share the same complexion, which means they look at you all as of the complexion. So at any point in time, if Black immigrants do anything that's fucked up, snaps. I'm sorry, Toter. Now I heard you say stop cussing a million times. I don't even know why that word slipped out my mouth. But at any time, if you mess up, they're not going to come on the media and demonize it as far as being Black immigrant. It's going to just straight be a Black person, which means they're looking at Black America, Black Americans. They're not looking at Black foreigners. They're looking at Black Americans, and we all get lumped into that specific group. At the same time, what's a threat is the fact that a lot of times Black immigrants refuse to learn our history. They refuse to learn our culture. Over here in America, since the days of slavery, even when our ancestors was in slavery, we fought against the system of white supremacy. Whereas what I see with a lot of Black immigrants is you all are fighting for a place within white supremacy. You're looking for a more comfortable position. Whereas Black Americans have actively been fighting it and still continue to fight it. That's a threat. It's a threat when you come here and we're fighting white supremacy and you're looking for a more comfortable position in it, because what it does is it threatens to put us back, to keep us in the same place. Because if you allow them to do and say and treat you like the Negroes or the niggas that we trying to move away from, that thought process, then they feel like they can continue to enact those same things on us. It's no different than some of the coons that we had here that would say, oh, well, I forgive you after you done killed my husband, my brother, my son, my daughter, my child. And if you get on the news and say, oh, well, I forgive you, I forgive him, and he ain't asked for your forgiveness. It's the same thing when a coon runs out and says, okay, well, you murdered my so-and-so, but, it wasn't due to racism, even though we all can look at that situation and see that it was absolutely due to racism. It's the same thing. That's a threat. That's a harm, because what that says is that you can continue to do these harms to Black people and get away with it, because we're going to forgive you, because we keep having people run into the news forgiving you and saying and not calling a thing a thing. So it is absolutely a threat when Black immigrants come here and you're kissing the white man's behind and you're assimilating into his culture, his thought process, when you're trying to find your position and you're willing to use us to do it. That is a threat. You can say that, well, I'm just coming here to eat. I'm just coming here to get a job. And I don't beseech anybody the opportunity to do better in a new place than what you were previously doing. I feel for your situation, but that doesn't say that that's not a threat to me, because what happens is you're allowed to jump over the Black population, the native Black population who is here, because white supremacy rewards coonism. It rewards the assimilated Negroes. It rewards you while punishing those of us who are not willing to do, the groveling, the butt kissing, the ass licking, scratch that. It's like, and then when you all enter our politics, and they're looking at you as a Black person, as a Black American. They're not giving you the title of a Black immigrant. So when you get there and you're acting like you're speaking for Black American, but here's the threat: you don't know our history. You refuse to learn our history, and even if you know our history, you still get there and you implement policies that are not good for the Black American Native population. And we're the largest population. You all might be 10, 15, 20% of the Black population, but the greater population here in America is Black Americans. So if you're entering our politics and you're entering into policies that are not good for the greater Black population, that's a threat. So for some of you to come on and say, well, that's not a threat, they're not a threat, that is absolutely a threat. It depends on what you're talking about. What are you talking about? You're talking about white supremacy. White supremacy shows up in many different daggone ways. And for a long time now, it's been showing up in immigrants, and we've been overlooking it and not calling it out. But the reparationist said it fine when I first ran into her here on Twitter. You are color supremacists, and that makes you a threat.
All right. Thank you, Trouble. Let me go ahead and get to Aappiah. Aappiah, go ahead and unmute your mic.
All right, thank you. First of all, remember I told you I don't want this thing to be that personal. And for that matter, I try to stay on point and address the issues as they are, devoid of any personal, conversation. To respond to original with regards to the statement made by Mama Flo, what I would say is that if she had made a direct statement that I said X, Y, Z, I would be able to address it. In the absence of that, I don't want to engage that, general, for want of a better word, Twitter type of, politics that others do. Just because you disagree with somebody, just want to say anything, just, to smear the image of the person. Also, on the issue of, us not blending with Black Americans, so on and so forth. I think that one thing we have to acknowledge is that we have different cultures, right? And my culture definitely different from yours. If I come here, it will take a minute for me to understand the culture. Now, to understand the culture doesn't mean that I would want to adapt the culture, but rather would want to respect the culture. You know what I mean? And that's where largely it is. Now, in the realm of whether, others get into politics or not, right? It's their free will. It's a democratic system. They say majority carries the votes. If the majority of the folks, do a background check on whatever candidate, and they feel that candidate will serve their interest, right, and they vote for him, I think that the accountability should be between the constituents and whoever is the candidate or whoever is the boss. I don't think that you can use that to generalize all of us. Just like me, I can't use few comments on Twitter to make a generalization of who Black Americans are. I can't do that. In any sense, why don't we look at it from a mindset where we can look at where we can be more collaborative and see what we can learn from each other. That's what I believe in. All right, that the Africans that come here, what do they bring that we believe that we can pick one or two from, and the Africans will also have to do vice versa and say, hey, with those here, what can we pick one or two from? One of the things that I pick right from Black Americans is the resilience. Right, it is the resilience, the ability to withstand all the the hardships that we have been through over the years and still thriving. Right, I learned a lot from that part. In my culture, does not give me that ability to be that to have that resilience and go all out to sometimes get whatever that I need to get. So even within our community, we say, yo, if we go truly with our culture, we might not be able to achieve our goals here. We have to man up a little bit. We have to man up a little bit. Our culture, like, be respectful, don't speak bad, put your hands at your back, on and on and on. That is who we are. And we love our culture for that. But when it gets to Rome, sometimes you have to do what the Romans do. And that's about it. Okay, and that's about it. Moving forward on this particular subject, the other statement made by the lady that just spoke. We're not here to compete. We don't have the numbers. We don't have the resources. We're not thinking about it. Okay? We're not thinking about it. We are only here to play our role as we plan back home and then leave if it becomes necessary. If Africans should come here, right, and knowing that you're in some old establishments by African Americans, right, that embraces us, that help us assimilate in the system, right, then you can say that, we have that direct commitment because these are the folks that when we got here, they made us who we are through the help that they gave us directly. But we don't have that system. And I'll tell you, we don't like living in white neighborhoods. We never lived in white neighborhoods. We are all the same color back home. You think somebody want to be here and say want to live in a white community when you don't even understand them? You know how it feels to be in an environment where you're the only person that looks different? We don't feel comfortable. But if you get poached by a company or a hospital, whatever, and you're adopted and bring you here, they put you in a white neighborhood. You don't know how to have your own local food. You have no friends. You don't know who to talk to. You don't know their mindset. It is super tough. So it is something that I think that we need to understand. But because we don't talk about it, people feel that we are comfortable. Every time we get here, they're like, oh, there's no black person here. There's no black person here. That's our biggest problem. So we don't feel that comfortable as it seems like. It's just that we don't want to talk about it. We just want to stay focused and achieve whatever goals that we came with. Thank you.
Okay. Let me go ahead and I'm going to get to the hard black truth. Jay Winfield, I'm going to get back to you as well, too. DJ, I see you you up here. Anybody else that wants to speak tonight as well, too, come on up here. Hard black truth, go ahead and unmute your mic.
And I appreciate you allowing me to speak again. I'll say this, right? When it comes to racism, white supremacy, anti-blackness, that isn't a phenomenon that only takes place in the United States of America. So with that being said, when we say black immigrants are a threat and we example black immigrants that coon it up just to keep it plain, I don't really think that's fair at all. And I don't think that is indicative of the black immigrant population here. Someone brought it up earlier. Folks really come here to live their life, to enjoy a better quality of life that's been afforded to them by those who put in the struggle beforehand. Now, there is something to be said about those who may not want to acknowledge or respect
the struggle of the Black American that made it to where folks could come here in greater frequency because always been coming here from the Caribbean, South America, continental Africa. I'm going to keep sticking to that point. But at the same time, to try to hold the Black foreigner to a higher standard than you would hold your own homegrown, quote unquote, coons. Because let's make no mistake about it. You can talk about Black immigrants being a threat, but the majority of the people that are out here that are Black, that are doing things against Black society, are homegrown from the soil Black Americans. And that can't be denied, and that should not be ignored. This isn't to try to sit here and beat up and point fingers, but I'm merely trying to express the point that to sit here and say because you have a faction of those who will come over here and yuck it up and coon it up, that we're going to say that Black immigrants are a threat. I think that's dishonest. And I don't really have much words to express that aside from dishonest. Because when you consider everything in its totality, we have a problem with Black people who would be submissive to those who are in power, to that white supremacist structure. They're going to be those who are going to try to get their comeuppance. And that's regardless of what. But you also have the vast majority of people who are well-meaning, who want to mind their business, who want to do what's right, who want to have a better future for them and their neighbors and their surroundings. And that doesn't mean kissing white behind. That doesn't mean yucking it up for white people. It doesn't mean trying to show that you have a disdain for Black Americans. Because someone brought up something about a test. I can tell you I've never heard of such a test. Never. I understand that.
That was fake.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I've never heard of such a test. Okay. And I've never seen a Black person, whether it be immigrant or Black American, to tell me that there is such a test. Again, I just want to drive the point home. Black immigrants, diaspora folks have been coming into the United States here for the longest time. And folks really need to study up their history on that. And as far as those who may have come, said after the 1960s, 1970s, that seems to be a triggering point for a great many. Again, folks are coming in here and they're trying to have a better quality of life. They're trying to live the same way everyone else is trying to live. You're going to have those who are going to do what's right, who are going to be quote unquote on code, who are going to sit here and stand up for what's right, because the same struggles that we have here were the same struggles that were had all over this world. Okay, so it kills me to think that immigrant, a Black immigrant from the Caribbean is going to come here to the States and not know right from wrong and not recognize racism when they see it. Of course they're going to recognize it. You're going to have some folks that are more incentivized to coon it up, quite frankly. But to sit here and put this on the entirety of the people that come here, when that is vastly not the case at all whatsoever, and historically proven that is not the case, nah, I don't get with that. And again, don't hold the diaspora to a standard that you're not holding yourselves to, okay? Because when it comes to the coonery and everything, the vast, overwhelming majority of that is coming right here from home. Right here from home. So I don't agree with us trying to paint Black immigrants as a threat in any type of way and utilizing those as examples, because it's a fallacy.
All right. And now you know it's going to be a number of people that's going to come up here and speak on that as well, too. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pass it around in the actual space. I think Jay Winfield was next. Jay, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yeah, I just want to say earlier that, of course, you have Black immigrants that come over here. But at the end of the day, you know, as a group, and you know, by and large, they're not interested in, you know, changing status quo. They're not interested in fighting white supremacy. So, you know, with that being said, I mean, I don't, you know, I'm just going to slightly disagree with, you know, R Black with that. You know, I don't think that, you know, they're going to recognize racism, and if they do, they're going to downplay it. But I mean, at the same time, you know, us as Black Americans, we have our homegrown coons. You know, we could talk about the civil rights generation, who, you know, you set us up for failure in a big way by, you know, choosing interracial sexual access and innovation over, you know, economic empowerment, equity for the younger generations to come, like Gen X, millennials, and Gen Z. But it, you know, at the same time, like, you know, I just want to reiterate that you know, white supremacy is always going to be the foremost pressing, you know, threat to Black Americans, and everything else is just second. And pretty much that's going to be, you know, it's upper class. And, you know, we've been dealing with this, you know, systemic racism, like, you know, for like centuries, you know, with the Highway Act, you know, the GI Bill, us getting not GI bills and things of that nature. You know, and what's going on right now, how they're trying, you know, people trying to charge like a little black boy for peeing, you know, on the street, give them 6 months of probation, you know, give them criminal charges. How another black boy got shot in the chest by a police officer. The police got off. You know what I'm saying? Just this kind of shit. Excuse my language. Just this kind of stuff that we got to worry about on a daily basis. And I just think that, yes, of course, we, you know, us as Black Americans, we can address like the tether class of the, you know, Black immigrants. But my thing is like, I don't want to spend too much focus on that, because they're not the ones who are like the power brokers who have, you know, who as a group who have, you know, the power to, you know, inflict, you know, harm and you know, influence on us like, you know, the dominant society does. So yes, you know, we can address that, but at the end of the day, like, it's always going to be about white supremacy, like, and that's just my that's all I have to say.
All right, thank you, DJ. I know you've been up here for a minute, so you want to go ahead and well, matter of fact, let me get to Callie Love first, because she hasn't had a chance to speak.
Let the people talk. You already know what time it is. I just want to reiterate: Twitter is a terrible app, or X, whatever you call this. You better bring your butts up on social. I don't care where you are from. It don't even matter. We got to move off this app in 2024. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Callie.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, everybody. I was listening, and this is not an unusual topic. I hear this is the deal. Africans have whole spaces all the time. They hold spaces about what's going on in Nigeria, what's going on in Ghana, the coup, the presidents in Nigeria, what's going on in South Africa. But when I pop in those spaces, I never see a Aappiah, ever. But when we have all these Black American spaces, he seemed to always want to hop his ass up in our spaces and then always have something extra to say about it away. But when it comes to conversations, what to do, how can we do this, how can Africans improve their lot in their own countries, I never see him and most of them Africans that pop up in our spaces, in those spaces, trying to figure out how to solve their own problems in their own countries. But they seem to be quite adamant about what's going on with Black Americans. Again, sometimes some people need to either mind their own business. Again, if the number of Africans that we have in the United States, how many of those Africans that they say hold and held these prestigious statuses, then came here and got medical degrees, law degrees, engineering degrees, opened up businesses, claiming that they don't want to live with white folks in white people neighborhoods, but they tuck tail and run their behinds all up in lily white hoods, and then have some of the most disparaging things to say about Black Americans in our supposedly ghettos, when there are organizations in this country, in America, that Africans themselves can join and then make the situation better in their own countries. But I don't see that, and nor do I hear that. I don't see around, and even in the state of California, I don't see, and I can't walk to an organization, catch the bus, take a train, call up, email, find a link, go on Google, Yelp, or anywhere else and find a Black African-based organization outside of a restaurant that's selling fufu and jollof rice, where there is some sort of unity that's bridging a gap between either Black Americans and Africans, so that we can dispel all these so-called myths that we find them to be true. I don't see those organizations. I don't see too many of those, because I go online and I search for them. I don't see too many business organizations that are bridging those gaps. I don't see those. And so for those Africans to continuously come in our spaces and yip yap and flap their gums about all this extra stuff is disingenuous. We don't see it. We barely hear about it. I mean, even in our public school systems, yeah, we have a few African teachers and professors from various countries, but why aren't you really like in a position to assist? You come and live here, but why not put forth a hand instead of disparaging us and talking about us all the time? Why not put in a hand, get a shovel, some bags, and help us clean up some of our ghettos that you're saying were full of baby mamas and fatherless households? See, we don't just open our mouths and just start disparaging any other ethnic group unless they being disrespectful towards us. We have a tendency to mind our own business, and we really like it that way. And we really like when other ethnic groups do this very same thing and have respect for Black Americans. We've been in this country for decades. We're not new here. And we deserve and we owe and we're going to demand that respect. So if there is this somewhat unity that everybody is claiming that Africans have with Native Black Americans, then it needs to show itself and be a little more pronounced than what it is. If not, then what's all the riffraff about? You're not being genuine about this situation. There is not one African organization that I can go and say here in America, even in California, even in LA, and say, let me knock on your door and let me get some of the benefits that you guys are getting from out of our country, from claiming that you have some sort of tie to us. I don't see those organizations. I don't see a doctor's office. I don't see very many legal offices or any other, even a doula office, even a midwife office, even a nursing association. Help us out. We're not in the mood for all the extra bullshit, excuse my language, that everybody's talking about. We are here and we've been here. If you can't not unify with us, you don't even want to come into our own communities and live when you get those resources. I ain't never heard nobody sit up and say, we gonna go live with white folks, but we don't want to go be their neighbors. What kind of bullshit is that? I ain't never heard nothing like that. I don't want to go live in no community where I can't see myself. I don't even want to send my children to a school where they don't even see a reflection of themselves. It got to be, I don't care if a librarian is a Black person. Give me a sprinkle of some pepper somewhere. But we don't see that. We out here fighting these hard fights, and not just in America, but all over this country, all over this world. We have such big hearts, like somebody else said, that we and everybody else, try to fight everybody else's concern because we see humanity in humanity. But other ethnic groups don't see humanity in us. How could you sit up here and call us lazy when every day we out looking for work, working? We done built this country. We done built wealth. And now just because you don't shine like we do, you want to take the thunder from us. We're not on that time no more. So if we
elect to delineate, then we can do that. It's not our fault that Black Americans, and if we deem ourselves and feel like, hey, we some of the Black best folks that this planet has to offer, then damn it, we can feel like that. We can pop our collar and we can walk with our heads standing straight up high, and we can do that. We're not ignorant. We're not uneducated. We're a very resilient group of people, and we fight no matter what. No matter what situation we are in. We'll take a box of Jiffy cornbread that's only supposed to feed 4 people, and we'll feed a whole fucking community. Because we love our people, and not only that, but we do have a humanitarian heart. And we don't think that any group of people should be disrespected or even treated in an inhumane way. But we looking out for us first, right now. And if people don't understand that, then oh well, too bad. We can honestly give 2 fingers up in the air. But this is about us right now, and we're going to look out for us and our family and our children. And whoever don't like that can go write a book and tell their next generation about how resilient Black Americans have been and how we always will be. And I'm going to just land with that.
All right. Thank you, Callie Love. Let me go ahead. I see we got a new speaker, and I want to get, because everybody else up has had a chance to speak. Let me go ahead and get Rot Roller up in here real quick.
Toter, can I respond to the Black Truth since he spoke on my talking point?
Go ahead real quick, Trouble.
So it's been a lot said, so my mind is all over the place, so I can't remember everything. But as far as the test that you had mentioned, everybody knows, and it is a fallacy for you to say that there is not a test. If you don't think that there is an actual test, then maybe you need to learn the history of the country that your family immigrated into. Because there is a test, and that test isn't a literal test, it's a figurative test. But there is definitely a test when it comes to assimilating into white society, white culture, white assimilation, white supremacy. There is absolutely a test that all immigrants are put through. Now, when I speak on immigrants, me personally, not speaking for everybody else, I recognize that it is never an all type of situation. I'm not going to throw all immigrants under the bus, but there are some. The conversation is about immigrants. So for those who say, well, we don't want to speak on, just the immigrants because it's A, B, and C, well, this is what the space is about. So this is what I'm speaking on, and this is what we're speaking on. This is the conversation of the moment. So, like I said, white supremacy may be the biggest threat, but there are subsets to that threat. There are subsets to white supremacy that show up in other forms and other fashion. And immigrants, as a whole group, but because we're talking about Black immigrants specifically, yes, there are certain aspects of the Black immigrant class, and it's not all, mind you. So don't go there. That is a threat to Black America. To add on to what Callie was saying, as far as the point that I was making, when Black Americans, when we fight for everybody. We're fighting for the things that we need, but everything that we fight for that we need, it benefits everybody. Everybody gets to eat off of all of the battles that we have ever had in this country to get the things that we need. But when other groups of people come here, Black immigrants specifically, since that's what the conversation is about, when you all get here and you fight for things specifically for your group of people, not including us. As Callie was saying, there are organizations that specifically help out Black immigrants. Black Americans, we cannot use those organizations, yet our organizations that were meant for Black Americans are helping everybody. Everybody can go there and eat. So when we're talking from an aspect of what is a threat, we ain't scared of you mugs. We're not scared of competition. But as I said, white supremacy rewards those who kiss their butts. You can look at it however you choose to look at it, brother. But a lot of y'all have your lips stuck right there. And we've already addressed our coon situation. So that's apples and oranges at this point, because I also mentioned our coons and liking what a lot of immigrants do when they come here to our coons. We've got a fight on our hands already with our coons. We're actively, that's another one of our fights. Are black immigrants, are y'all fighting y'all coons? I do not think so. And if you are, you're not fighting them as hard as we're fighting ours. So you mean to tell me, not only do we have to fight our coons who are doing things not in our best interest, our boule class, we got to fight them that's doing things not within our best interest, but yet you don't think that we should see certain immigrants, black immigrants that come here and add to that fight that we already have? That's another daggone threat. What you talking about? So when you speak on my points, be thorough.
May I respond, please?
Well, no, let me go ahead, Hard Black Truth. I'll get to you, but let me go ahead and yeah, you'll get your chance to respond, but let me go ahead and get to Rock Roller. Rock Roller, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yeah, what's up, Newstoter? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's up?
Yeah, I just wanted to respond. Shout out to the room, by the way. I just wanted to respond to what Callie asked about. She never sees Aappiah in these African rooms. Yes, he's in them because I caught him in a few of them. And the latest one I caught him in, it was a space about a week ago. The co-host, the host was, I think he was a black immigrant. And this dude was talking about how black Americans are dumb for even thinking that white folks are going to give us reparations. And if they did give it to us, he's going to join the white folks to fight against it. And Aappiah was in that room. He was on stage. But he wasn't babbling like he does when he comes in our spaces. He was in there laughing and cuckooing and ha-howing like a damn chess cat. So Aappiah is a goddamn joke, bro. And I land right there.
All right. Thank you, Rock Roller. Thank you, Rock Roller. Let me go ahead and get to I'm gonna let you go ahead, Hard Black Truth. Go ahead and unmute your mic.
All right, I appreciate you. There was a lot said, so kind of scrambled up about it, but I'm gonna try to cut to the chase. When it comes to this test, again, and we're speaking about black immigrants, I'm gonna stand by what I said. I've never seen such a test where black people are pit against black Americans and having to show their disdain for black Americans to get a crumb or whatever the hell they're supposed to get. As far as what white people reward black immigrants with, the reward can't be that great because, again, coonery literally has no retirement plan. Nobody's skating off into the sunset having done black Americans dirty. There's no market for that. And quite frankly, I just don't see the diaspora being that cruel at heart. Understand me? I believe that we are loving people as black people. We care for one another. We want to see what's right. We want to do what's right. We want to see our families prosper and thrive. And yeah, if you're going to have those who are going to, how can I say, be devious, be backbiters, be turncoats, all these terms that we use to describe those who would sit there and literally kiss white supremacy's behind to try to get ahead. Again, to try to paint that on the totality of black immigrants, I just don't see that. And those who do come here and do take up that lifestyle, if you want to call it, they have ample example to do it here. And that's the only thing that's the only thing that really grinds my gears is we're trying to have a discussion about black immigrants and what black immigrants do, when in reality, we are an inkling of the negativity that's felt on black society. The majority of that is coming from our own homegrown people here in the States. And I understand that that's a hard pill to swallow, but it is the facts. I'm surrounded by it, and I don't mean to speak from my own anecdotal point of view, but I think deep down if folks kind of just look within themselves and look around them, you know that you're probably one of the few people who are actually about your empowerment like that. You probably struggle to find those who are like-minded. Now, I don't mean to speak for everybody. I'm sure someone's going to come up here and tell me off about it. Okay, but my experience, as I see it, especially here where I'm at right now, majority of black folks, they're not out here talking about fighting. They're talking about getting their job. They're talking about paying their bills. They talking about raising their children. They talking about living the quote-unquote American dream. And guess what? When you talk to the black immigrant, the conversation ain't too different at all. So we can sit here and bring up these little anecdotal examples and talk about what you heard somebody tell you in an echo chamber or what you saw in an old video. I'm here to tell you, and I've sat silent for way too long, but I'm here to tell you, black immigrants, we not on it like that. We love you, whether you want to feel the love or not. We're not here to hate you. We don't like white supremacy. We don't like white people doing other people wrong. We don't like the shit that we see going on around the world right now at the hands of this red, white, and blue and all these other Western nations that carry on the way they do. We don't like that shit, okay? And as far as fighting, yeah, if you're talking about someone who's fresh off the boat, coming here and jumping into your quote-unquote whatever you got going on, of course it ain't going to be like that. Of course it ain't going to be like that. A lot of folks that come from these small towns don't move the same way. Look, the bottom line, because I'm ranting now, bottom line, black immigrants are not a threat. To sit here and say that they are a threat, it is detrimental not only to the black immigrant, but it's also detrimental to black Americans because we are way more intertwined than folks would like to sit here and tell you. Okay, a lot of this conversation really has come about because some white bastard somewhere decided we need to get these niggas, we need to get these black folks arguing with each other. We need to create this division. And I don't think it's by any mistake that we have a conversation like reparations hit the forefront, and now we got hundreds of thousands of people coming into this border, yet the conversation is somehow centered around black immigrants.
All right, let me go ahead and get to the Negro, and then I'm going to get to you, Aappiah.
Baby, can I talk? I need to talk, baby. I was in that room.
Go ahead.
All right. I was in that room. That's why I'm in your room right now. Okay? I was in that room. Him and the other friends and the little puppies with the disrespectful, we slaves, we this, we that. I don't even know why his title is in your name. It's like you're disrespecting yourself right now, Newstoter, and I'm just keeping it a being with you. Because see, this nigga is a liar. He's a clown. He double talks out his mouth. He speaks when it's convenient. And the hard truth is, we didn't say all. We didn't say all. But most of them are a problem. Like that young woman said, they can sit in the room and talk about their business and that, and we leave them be. But they don't leave us be. They want to come up in our rooms and troll us and laugh at us, call us slaves, laugh at us. But right now, Aappiah is sitting here and crying like he the girl he is. Because you wouldn't be giving this smoke if you wasn't trolling everybody. And it's really disrespectful that he even get this clout, bro. Because you don't even know what you're dealing with right now. Do you know how it feels when a young African man tells a woman whose mother was the descendant of slaves, fuck you, bitch?
Language, but go ahead.
Excuse me. That's the language he speak, bro. Okay? That's the language he speak. He being nice right now. He's being taped. all that emotion, how you leave our kids. Listen, one thing else I want to address, bro, ain't no gun factories in the hood. Ain't no poppy fields in the hood. Ain't no planes to bring them in and out the hood. When you're put in a situation, you're going to react to that situation just like they do in the diaspora. Okay? They don't even got toilets. They shit in the bag and throw it in the backyard. But they'll come over here and act like they better than it. And don't let them get no little degree. Oh no. They're going to take care of their own. And that test we're talking about is the tax breaks they get. The loans they are able to get at low interest that Black Americans can't get. Or have someone who got their degrees come together and sponsor this one to come. Yo, it's a threat. And for you to sit here and tell this, you're the problem. Because this is the way you think about your own hood. Black people, like we just violent animals. The diaspora, didn't they sell ours? Didn't they sell us? Didn't they sell us? And you telling me they're not as violent as we are? Yo, you really are cold with that, bro. Because you know what we say. You ain't stupid. You're not stupid. Once they get up, they go right next to right there next to the white people. Hey, Miss Jones, how you doing, Alex? Every chance they get, they will F us with no grease. And this boy Aappiah, it is disgusting. It's disgusting. Because like that lady say, he don't be up in the room. And if he is, he's disrespecting us. And if he ain't invited or can't, he control himself out that room, that's when he come in our spaces. And then he come for chicks like me who will run his tail down all through this app. Because you're a phony. You're a fake. Okay, you came here to get an education, to make it better for yourself, so you can send your money home to Ghana, and Ghana be better. That's taken from us. That's taken from us. We're losing that income. And you so arrogant with it. You come up, no, you can't talk out the both sides of your mouth, bro, because that's what you're doing up in here. Talk like he was talking up in that room. Talk like that. Let this man and let this room here talk how you was talking up in that room while I'm up in this room on you again. Because you was up here talking. You don't know what it's like to leave your country to be alone. If you know that, why is you over here antagonizing people who give their heart to you? Who gave their heart to your ancestors? To the people who came here before you? Aappiah, you need to really look inside and see what's broken in you, bro. Because I'm going to tell you, Black America didn't do it. You was broken before you got here. Thank you for the floor. I got to leave this room because I'm getting ready to spit up.
All right, Negro. The Negro, thank you. Let me go ahead and get to Aappiah. He's actually next. So go ahead, Aappiah, unmute your mic.
All right. First of all, Newstoter, you realize, like I said, I didn't want this to be that personal to derail the conversation. I know too much enough, or I'm experienced to know the type of conversation going on and how to respond to it in a way that it will not take the whole topic out of here. Therefore, if I'm not responding to some of them, it doesn't mean that they are telling the truth. It is because I know that if I hop on the other side, it's going to be a whole different conversation, right? Miss Lisa, for example, she and I have never had any conversation before. That's why I stated that she may be misconstruing me for somebody. Secondly, I stated that if anyone comes here and he or she makes a statement, that person needs to quote me verbatim and say that I said X, Y, Z, so I can be responsible for what I say. Beyond that, I'll be more mature enough not to respond to anything that comes out. With regards to reparations, I've stated it clear over and over again. Do Black Americans deserve reparation? 2 billion% yes. 2 billion% yes. But the white man has not given me any reason for me to trust him. So I don't trust the white man. These are two different things. If somebody asks me, yo, do you trust the white man to give black folks reparation? I'll say no. If you ask me, do black folks deserve reparation? Yes, they do deserve reparation. They have to fight for it. They need to demand for it. So I don't know how people take this out of context. But like I said, this is not about, this type of conversation. So I will leave it the way it is and progress on, more important issues that have been raised. Those talk about Africans come here once again and, we doing things off code and all that. I'm a Pan-Africanist and an unrepentant Pan-Africanist. I'm not going to change that. I shall always be a Pan-Africanist. I believe that the empowerment of all black folks worldwide is very, very important. And if we do not support and complement each other, we will continue to be run down like currently is going on. Divide and conquer, divide and conquer. That's what is going on. Right? And for the future generation, I don't want them to go through the type of things that my generation is going through. And therefore, I would have a different mindset. I want my grandkids to come and see a world where black folks are in large and in charge. Why do you think I claim to be an African? I'm from Ghana, we're only 30 million. But on the continent, we're 1.2 billion. So I'm not a Ghanaian, I'm an African. So I have a whole 1.2 billion people behind me. I'm not delineating from anything. When I can claim them, I'll claim them. Now, of this app in real life, I am directly involved and I know for a fact Black Americans and Africans doing real businesses on the continent and here in the United States. I know Africans that have employed Black Americans and vice versa. And I felt that this conversation is going to be that type of conversation where we're going to elevate and bring our best foot forward and think really deep into what it's all about when you talk of blackness, Black immigrants, and Black Americans conversation. For some reason, it has been business as usual. And they're trying to get me to, be and say whatever just to derail an important conversation like this. Let me say this. The more they see us coming together, the more they develop strategies to divide us. The more they see us, seeing us ourselves as brothers and sisters, the more others feel threatened. And therefore, whatever that they can put to make sure it doesn't materialize, they will do it. They are focusing on the continent. But guess what? They'll put whatever image out here for you to feel like going to Africa is the worst thing that would ever happen to you. And then you find more white folks on the continent. Why is it that white folks are on the continent doing businesses, and however, black folks are not given the same opportunity? Why is that they don't show that part that all the white folks see and capitalize on to other black folks so they can also capitalize on it? I think it gets to a point where as black folks, we need to be above what the narrative is, challenge the status quo, and do way better. And that's my mindset. So I'm not going to dwell myself into this type of, somebody made a room, made a comment, and because of that, you want to generalize it on me. I'm not going to be responsible for that. And I'm not going to use a comment made by a certain Black American on another space to generalize Black Americans. I'm not doing that. I'm more mature than that. So when you see bits and pieces of ignoramus on this app saying the worst about Black Americans, and you want to use that as a tool to hate Black immigrants, then it is most unfortunate, because I'm not going to do that. Check my timeline. I don't forward whatever I see that some Black Americans said about Black Americans. I'm not forwarding it. I'm not even commenting. You're just an ignorant person. I'm not going to reduce myself to that standard. But I still stand on the principle that for us to move forward, we will need each other. I cannot be in the United States where, black folks, I mean, how many percentage? 13? And say that I want to take myself out of the equation. If I take myself out of the equation, how many percentage do I have? 2-3%? I'll be the dumbest person on this planet Earth, thinking I can use my 2% to fight a whole 87% exit from. And in the same spirit, if you look at it that way, can the 13% outrun the 87%? That's a Gordian knot. So what's the point in you not seeing the next person that look like you, right, as an ally rather than an enemy? Why don't you correct them when they are wrong because they don't understand you, rather than to see them as, people that are here to take over or attack you? Because that's not the purpose. So in a nutshell, we are better off learning from each other, understanding from each other, and see how we can work together for the betterment of the Black nation. And when I say the Black nation, I mean Black folks everywhere. I yield the mic.
All right, thank you, Aappiah. Let me go ahead. Looks like we have a new speaker up here. Is that Charcut?
Shakuda, just call me Parker. What going on with you?
Go ahead, man. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm just gonna keep it a whole huncho real quick. First of all, peace to the family, peace to the Black American family. You know what I'm saying? That I'm gonna tell you like this. I was born in Atlanta. I was born in Indiana, raised in Atlanta. My mama them from Indiana, my daddy them from Indiana, my folks them from Mississippi, Arkansas, Louisiana. You know what I'm saying? I'm American all the way through. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just gonna say this right now. Either you're all the way in it or you're all the way out. I'm just gonna keep it a whole huncho with you. If it is what it is, then come forward with it. But right now, we got things.
Hey, no cursing, but go ahead.
Oh, my bad. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and keep it. I'm gonna keep it clean. One thing for sure and two things for certain. You talk about that 2% or 13% of we making the population of the U.S. Look, we might make that 13%, but guess what? The influence and everything that we got on this earth is 100%. You know what I'm saying? So we need all our first. We ain't tripping on what y'all doing or what not, but we need all. You know what I'm saying? Folks trying to infiltrate hip hop and all this. They saying that Puerto Ricans done made it, Jamaicans done made it, Africans done made it. Like, well, we can't get nothing. But we are the most hated, disrespected, misconstrued, all this, that, and the third, but y'all want a piece of their culture. No, man. Y'all got to give it up first. You know what I'm saying? Denounce what, you know what I'm saying? Denounce what y'all got right now. Like, look, I know the world is hurting right now. I see what's going on. But right now, I got an 11-year-old son in the United States of America that's a Black man that's already got 3 strikes against him because he Black, he a male, and he live in America. Like, I got to worry about what's going on right now. I got to worry about what's going on here. You feel me? So if you're not worried about what's going on here, why are you here? And not from the other country that you done came from or whatever, I'm not being upset about it. I'm not trying to, vilify any of the cultures that's here or whatnot. But why you here and you borrowing from all of our cultures and everything, if you're not about to contribute and work towards what we got here, then you are against everything we got. And that's just a whole, that's just a beam. You know what I'm saying? I'm just keeping the hunt on with you. So either you're all the way in it or you're all the way out, in the words of Pimp C, and I'm going to land that thing right there.
All right, appreciate it. We're not going to be going too much longer here. Callie, go ahead and unmute your mic. Then we're going to get the DJ, and we're probably going to be closing it out in a little bit here. Callie, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Okay, thank you for allowing me to speak again. Sometimes I don't be knowing where to start because I hear a lot. Now, the space just happened to have old boy's name in it, but we not mainly focused on you. Again, it's a topic that's been generated around Twitter for the past 4 years. And so it's going to be a topic. 13% or not, like the man said, our culture still reverberates throughout this world. So we made major impacts where other groups and ethnic groups weren't expecting us to. And then when those other groups arrive here in America, and they actually see how wonderful we really are, their minds are blown back. And they amazed that how could these people have really taken dust and turned it into this marvelous piece of artwork. I mean, our likeness is spread out through the world so that people really can't even mimic it, even when they try. So I don't care how much people talk about us eating fried chicken and collard greens and watermelon. You can't fry fried chicken like we fry fried chicken. Period. You gotta put eggs in the batter and mustard in the batter, and you gotta do all this extra pickled shit to a piece of chicken just to fry it. When it's just real simple. Season it, dip it, drop it in some flour if you use flour, and put it in the grease and keep it pushing. But we so magnificent that way, it's hard for people to mimic us. But then when you see us,
you just gave up the recipe, man. Damn.
I don't even want to do that. Hey, I had some Hispanics at my kids' school, and I'm just keep it real brief. They was like, "How you make fried chicken?" And I told them. They said, "No, you don't." Hey, they went back and tried to make some fried chicken, brought it back to a parent meeting. Man, you could have picked it up and threw it. It was like a brick. So I don't even care how many times we give them a recipe. It don't work.
I'll tell you, all we got is love and ancestry.
Hey, and we make it work. And we just don't appreciate it. If you're going to come here, hey, no, we don't expect you to get into every fight. Like somebody said, oh, we got to deal with our coons. And our coons, they not walking away with retirement checks. They are too walking away with retirement checks. If they work in any public school system, they walking away with retirement checks, Social Security checks, and them teacher retirement fund checks, savings checks that they giving out by pushing our children out of mainstream America to be competitive. That's what them coons is doing, our own native coons. So we fighting them every day that our kids go to a public school system. We don't have no other choice. Anytime we have a group of Hispanics, especially in LA, EL parents, English learning parents, ELAC parents, second English learning parents, and I always ask this question: is Spanish the only second English learning language? What about and this is where I bring in the Black immigrants, because I don't see them. Some of them parents may come to parent meetings, but guess what? They're not in the EL, meetings. They're not in there begging for resources. Now, we'll give them that. They're not in there begging for translators like the Spanish speaking group is. But at the same time, I do say, well, what other language is that? Why aren't you guys trying to teach us any other language other than Spanish? Or why aren't you providing translators for those? And this is where I do bring in the Black immigrants, but those Black immigrants. But they sometimes don't even speak up for themselves. So here again, I'm speaking up for somebody else's kid. But what about ours? What about the thousands and the 100,000s and the million of Black American children and students who went through the public education system, who were taught and educated by our own schools, and we have to reverse that cycle? We're not in the mood no more to reverse cycle, pedal back, and go back. We're trying to move forward. That's it, and that's all. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to move forward whether people like it or not. If you're not on this train with us, we're going to push your behind off. Period. And if you don't like it, then you can go back home. And this is not my first time saying it. I say it on the streets off Twitter. You can go back home. The Ghanaians that I know here in California, I'm going to tell you what they do. If you want to get a fake ID, fake Social Security card, fake checks, a fake fucking doctor.
Y'all been dropping F-bombs. Y'all been dropping the F-bombs all night.
I'm going to try to cover it up. If we wanted credit cards, fake credit cards, that's where we're getting it from. But yet they turn around in the same sentence and say, y'all Black Americans is lazy and y'all uneducated. Y'all have the opportunity to go get education and you don't need to get it. That's double talk. That's double talk. Stop coming here committing the crimes and then blaming it on us. Just like in family court. You're in family court too. You're not taking care of your children neither. But the minute that you see a Black man who take care of his family, who love on his wife, who love on his children, oh, he got to be something special. No, the average black man take care of his family, love on his children, and love on his wife and his woman. It's out of the norm when we see something different, because it's like, what's your problem? We always loved each other. We always kept our families tight-knit, kept them close to our hearts, because we got to make sure our children and our families are protected. Grandmamas, granddaddies, great-granddaddies, great-grandmamas. So when we start hearing people that look like us talk out of the way and out the side of their neck, it bothers us. And we're trying to figure out what side you really on. And I'm going to land right there.
Appreciate that, Callie. I'm going to say this. We got over about close to 70 people up in here, and only my man 400 was able to go ahead and donate to the program. Anybody that wants to donate to the platform, $, Newstoter, $, Newstoter. That's on Cash App. Once again, $, Newstoter. Support the black media. We definitely need your help. If you got $1 that you can donate to the actual platform, it's greatly appreciated. $, Newstoter, $, Newstoter. We also have the Venmo and PayPal up in the Jumbotron. For those that's on YouTube, we got the Cash App and the actual on the screen, $, Newstoter. Venmo, PayPal is up in the description. So we definitely, like I said, 400, he looked at, he definitely donated. So we appreciate that. But we definitely need anybody that can spare $1 to the platform. It is greatly appreciated. DJ, go ahead and unmute your mic. Like I said, we ain't going to keep it open too much longer up in there because, you know, everybody's been making points all night. So definitely, I know you hadn't had a chance to get it in either. So go ahead and unmute your mic.
Everybody said everything right. You already know what time it is, man. We agree to agree because we Eminem gang. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. Shout out to Original Blood, man. Stay mad. New 42, trouble. Yeah, I'm in trouble now. Cali love. Wow.
Hey, let me give a shout out real quick to Rock. Let me give a shout out real quick to Rock Roller. Rock Roller, thank you for your donation on Cash App. I know you always support the platform as well too. So shout out to you, Rock Roller. But go ahead, DJ. I'm sorry.
Nah, you good, dog. You know what I'm saying? Nah, you know, I ain't got really nothing to say. Hold on, let me get off here. I'm a Cash App you too in a second. But check your paper. I've been sending bread over there. You know what I mean? But yeah, I ain't really got nothing to say. You know what I mean? We can come argue and curse each other out in the late night space because I ain't doing no Instacart tonight. You know what I'm saying? And I got a whole bunch of tristlers. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, hey, Aappiah, you know, I've been had folks hitting me in the background saying that whatever it was that was said tonight that you were saying about Black Americans, that's all facts, bro. And I got the receipts too, but we could talk about it in a late night space. You know what I'm saying? Other thing is too, this ain't about you, like Sister said. This is about us versus everybody else because we already understand now more than ever that y'all just ain't got no love for us. And when I say y'all, I'm talking about all of y'all. It don't matter if you're African, Caribbean, I don't care if you're Latino man, you know what I mean, Hispanic man, Mexican, you know what I'm saying? You're all anti-black, you know what I'm saying? So check how I had to check the tether knacker at the gas station. Chong, you know what I mean? Yo, bro, you don't need my membership to pump my gas, dog. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yes, we do. Hey, no, you don't. I sit back here in this line. I ain't see you ask nobody for their ID. Shout out to my Costco squad. You feel what I'm saying? So pump my gas, bro. You feel what I'm saying? Oh, I can't do that. Well, you can hold on to the car and go get the manager. You know what I'm saying? This is a business Cash App card. Y'all know nothing about that business Cash App. You know what I'm saying? I got a boot check over there. You know what I'm saying? And my Cash App too, knacker. You know what I mean? And Newstoter. You know what I'm saying? Real rap. So he goes to get the manager, the homie over there. The homie, you know what I'm saying? What's up, big dog? You know what I'm saying? Hey, fill me up, bro. All good, you know what I'm saying? Ain't asked for no ID. So the tabernacle came and took the nozzle out the tank, put it back on the rack, capped me back up, snap, closed my door on the thing, you know what I mean? Try to fake, give me the receipt out, you know, stretching out for like a pass. Hey, yo, come here, bro. What's your name? All right. Oh, no problem, you know what I mean? Oh, I didn't even do anything. I'm just doing my job. I didn't say you did anything. I just asked you your name, and you ain't even had to give me that. But thanks for the information, and thank you for now pretty much, you know, in your feelings, you know what I'm saying? You feel like you committed a crime. You're guilty now because I didn't ask you to say anything, but you just said that you're doing your job. You could have just walked off. But this is how you know these folks ain't black, because I don't see none of y'all other jokers ask any of these other folks here for their ID. You see what I'm saying? So this an Arab looking dude. You know what I'm saying? So we ain't discriminating against none of their peers. You know what I'm saying? We on everybody because they all have been against us. So when I say y'all, hey man, we ain't gotta even say the majority of others that come in here. We'll just say those that know what the hell's going on. Because there are some folks that are down for the cause and are down for black people here in America specifically and want us to get our stuff together.
Hey, DJ, real quick, let Aappiah come up because I think he just said he's got to get ready to leave. So let him go ahead and say something.
I got you. Go ahead, man, because I see text up there. I'm going to be quiet now. Shut up.
We go ahead, Aappiah, because like I said, we're going to be closing the space out in a second anyways. I'm going to let you go, and then no taxation. We're going to be up out of here.
Man, first of all, let me thank you and thank the whole space for the opportunity to, share my experience as a black immigrant, my thoughts, with my fellow cousins. Secondly, I don't take anything to heart, however, individuals may feel. WPI, if you have receipts, I am here. You either put it here, so I address them. In the absence of that, I will suggest that you take it back to those that gave it to you. I'll respond to them if you truly have them. No, if you truly have them, I'm the man that will stand up and step up to my responsibility and be accountable. So if somebody says something, please put it out here and let me address them. But beyond that, it's still the Twitter, attitude of some folks that I don't usually address. In conclusion, right? We're better off united. We're better off watching out for each other than being divided, being divisive, and throwing tantrums at each other. Thank you, Newstoter, and I'll hit you back later.
All right, appreciate it, Aappiah. Let me go ahead and get to no taxation. I'm gonna go ahead and let you get it in, and then we're gonna be closing this out for the night.
Hey, News. AMDJ, Original, Struggle, Rilla, Rockweller, everybody in the room. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope everybody's not too stressed. I came in the room very late, so I only heard a couple of people speak. But so I'm going to speak to the topic. Are black immigrants a threat to black America? In some cases, but I'm going to say that we need to look at it differently. Immigration itself is a threat to black America. Black immigrants that vie for our resources and claim black American are definitely a threat to black America. And the only way that can be controlled is to control immigration itself. I had an experience in my county that didn't bode well for me. But if you just, I'm old, and if you just look at me cross-eyed, I'm upset. I'm one of them. And so the person who owned it happened to be an African, a new business in a neighboring town. I didn't like the way that I was spoken to, so I went to the Chamber of Commerce and reported it, and I called my county supervisor up and asked, just how many of these people do you plan on letting in this county? See, that's how you approach those types of subjects, because you can't let anything slide. We've got to understand, black Americans, that nobody in the world, in the whole world, has ever been taught about us. And so we have to teach people daily how to treat us and how to speak to us. And that includes everybody, because nobody was ever taught. Having said that, the other thing that I want to do is to encourage y'all, because delineation is probably one of the smartest and most important topics and issues that you all could have addressed and gotten straight, and you did get it straight. And so I applaud everybody in the movement that was on that wagon and did their thing, whether it be on social media, whether it be in a political office. Delineation is going to be key. And you all did that. Now what I want to say is that the next 6 months is going to be harsh for us because we made headway politically. And so I just want to encourage everybody to just put your blinders on and stay focused on us so that we can do what it do for us, and that whatever lane you're in, if you're fighting for us, then stay in the lane and do it and be encouraged. Now, for people who want to be allies, the way to be an ally is to stand behind us, not in front of us, and not tell us what it is or what you think we need to do. That's not ally work. And so if somebody is telling you that we need to do this, we need to do that, and they are not us, then they're not your ally. And the other gentleman that came up said it. Either you with us or you against us. Ain't no, it ain't no riding the fence no more. See? And so for fence riders who think that they can, tell us how we need to behave, just know that they're against us. Okay? And we all know that everybody stands on our back in order to get some light. Everybody, including some of us. And so we have to understand that, know who we are, and remain who we are. And like I say, keep your blinders on. Don't look left and don't look right. Just keep your eye on the prize and go straight to the goal. And we'll get there. So I want everybody to enjoy their holidays and take a break if you can. Even if it's a 15-hour, 2-day, 1 day, do whatever you can to take a break, because these next 6 months is going to show you just what kind of evil country that we live in. Okay? And like I said, put your blinders on. Don't worry about what other people think about us. It's none of our business. We don't care about people who ain't in power. We only want to speak to the decision makers. Okay? That's the way we look at it. And y'all be blessed. That's it, man.
All right. Thank you. No taxation. That's a good way to go ahead and end the space for the night. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to shut it down. DJ, you said you had a space you were starting.
Left-hand side. There you go.
You starting up a space, you said?
Oh, yeah. You already know what time it is. Late night knackers. Top left-hand side Jumbotron before we leave. Let's get it.
Okay. All right, y'all. Well, I appreciate everybody coming through tonight. So as always, definitely it was a good conversation, and hopefully I wish more people would have came up and asked some questions, but we had quite a few speakers up here tonight as well too. So shout out to everybody, the speakers, the listeners, the co-hosts. Thank you for everybody that came out tonight. We'll be back probably Monday, guys. So like No Taxation said, have a good weekend. Enjoy yourself. Check out DJ Space coming up, and I'll see you guys next week.
Space, fam.
Peace.